Hey guys, I'm back on my porch and I got a new fern. Hey, it feels like spring. It was in the 30s this morning, but it feels like spring right now, so I want to take advantage of it. And I have a testimony. And I got to start with a previous testimony. And I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to tell it because it seemed like to make it short, to shorten it would just make it less. But I don't want to make it less because it was such a big deal to me. And there was a story about my cow, Sissy the cow. And many of y'all remember the story. And if you didn't, I may put the link because it's an important part of what I had to say today. My miracle cow. And I just haven't been able to get rid of that cow because every time I look at her, I remember what God did. On a really dark day, a dark time in my life, God did a miracle through a cow. And so then all of a sudden right now it's the season that we're having calves. Well, last summer was really busy, and with my retirement and everything going on with Gary, I let it slip by and I didn't get a bull over here to breed my cows. And so I had asked the guy who had helped me before, could we get a bull over here? I want to breed my cows. I have 2 cows. That's all I have left. But I want them to get bred. And so I'd have babies in the spring. Well, that didn't happen. So now all the pictures are popping up in my memories of my previous baby calves that I've had. And it's a blessing. Not only we love having calves, but also I can sell them, and just selling those calves kind of pays for the feed for the other cows, right? It gives a little offset of expense of having cows. But I was sad because I didn't get the cows bred. And I looked back at my text earlier and I saw where it was March the 1st at 5:30 p.m. I had sent a text to Tim, my friend, and said, hey, I didn't get my cows bred last year, but I don't want to miss out. So can you see about we can get me a bull over here to breed my cows? I just sent him that. Okay. Well, this morning was a tough day. It was especially hard. Emotionally, with Gary. Gary was having a especially hard day. And when he's suffering and he's at the place he was this morning that I suffer. And I felt so powerless. And I just been talking to the guys in my group I do at the Brothers House once a week this week about, the step 1 of AA and NA was that our 80-12 step program is that we admit we're powerless. Whether it's drugs and alcohol, whether it's any kind of life controlling thing that we can become powerless over. Well, I'm powerless over Alzheimer's. I'm powerless over that. I'm even powerless over Gary. I can't make him do anything. He's a 220-pound, 6'3" man who still knows what he wants and wants what he wants. And it was just very difficult. And it was just a moment, and I ended up sitting in the living room by myself, and I was just saying, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It was one of those moments where you just feel so powerless, so trapped. So I couldn't fix it. Well, that's really how I'd been with Sissy the cow a year and a half ago. It'll be almost 2 years now. I think it'll be in June. I think it'll be 2 years since that incident happened. But I couldn't do anything for her. I could not. I got 2 different cowboys over here looking at her. People gave her shots, dealt with her, finally got a vet over here, and we did everything we could. And then it was time just to let her die, to put her down and bury her. But I was powerless then. Well, today I wasn't thinking about the cow, but I was just in that moment of just feeling powerless and just cried out to God. It wasn't like I was just praying. No, I was just saying, what's up, God? How I need help. I can't do this. I can't do it. I was talking to my mom. She called. I was on the phone with my mom. I walked out on the porch, right here. Same porch, same place. And I'm talking to my mom, and I walked and looked over here to the left, just like I did a year and a half ago when I saw Sissy resurrected. I looked over there. I heard the cow make a sound. I looked over there. Sissy's just had a calf. She's licking is gorgeous. Oh, I'm going to show pictures. This beautiful little calf. And I wouldn't even have thought, I would have thought, somebody's brought me a calf. This can't be my calf. But she still has afterbirth hanging over. She's just had this calf. And I'm, Mom. She goes, what's wrong? I'm like, it's not bad, but I'm looking at a miracle. I said, my cow just had a calf, and we didn't bring any bulls over here. How do I have a calf? This is immaculate conception. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't even, I got to hang up. I don't even know what to say. I was like, oh my God. So I hang up the phone. I go over there, and I'm like, and Sissy just lets me come right up to that calf. The calf, this little calf, she just lets me. I'm thinking that I don't know, but I'm thinking it is. But I'm just petting it and loving on Sissy, and she's letting me with this. And I'm like, I cannot believe. I had just told my daughter, Jody, yesterday. She said, do we have calves this year? Do you have any calves? I'm like, I know what she was asking. She's not really that big of a cow person. I was like, nope, we didn't get them done. I said, but I do have a text in to get some. I said, I ain't gonna miss it next time. We're gonna have some babies next year. I have a baby. Well, I'm racking my brain. How could my cow get bred when there's no bulls? Well, I remembered something, and I was like, oh, well, I forgot about that little calf we had over here. My friend Susie had asked if they could put her, and her boss was going to buy this little calf together. Could I let them have it on my land, and they were going to let it stay here through the winter, and then they were going to, slaughter it in the spring. And so then, letting me have the little calf, they was going to buy hay for my 2 mama cows and feed them all. Well, we had done that, but it was weird when I brought that little bull over here. Sissy just took him up with him. She acted like he was her calf. Okay, and so then a little further along, she was pregnant, and so then she starts getting milk sack, and he's sucking on her, nursing on her, and I'm like, this ain't good. Well, then she has her baby, and now he's really doing it. He's just following her around. And the baby's not even her baby can't even get any milk because this little bull is right beside her. And I took pictures. I got videos because I had to send them and go, y'all got to get your cow. I'm sorry. I thought you could keep him here longer, but you can't because he's drinking the colostrum. He's taking the milk from the baby. And so they're like, well, we'll be working on it. Well, we put him in a corral for a little bit. Well, keep him away from the mama. He just cried and cried and cried. And we let him out. He'd run to the mama. And he's this big, he's getting pretty big. But he's still a calf. So finally, they came and got the little bull. He was nursing on mama the day he left. He was still stealing the milk from the baby. Now he's about half grown. We're trying to figure out how old he was. We don't think he was quite a year. I'm thinking 10 months maybe when they took him finally because they was building some fence to get him over there. But I was like, you got to get this guy off this land because he won't get off the mama. They were both nursing her at the same time. The only thing when you think, I went and Googled it immediately, how old do they have to be if they breed a cow? And it says it's supposed to be like 15 months. There is some cases if they were as low as 12. But for whatever the deal, this cow was not big enough to do that. He was still a calf. Still nursing on this mama. But apparently he was doing more than nursing. Because we have this little baby calf. Of all days, a day I'm crying out to God, I don't know how to do this. I have a little miracle. Now, I don't know if it's Immaculate Conception. I'm thinking about changing Sissy's name to Mary. Or the baby, if it's a girl. Female, it's going to be Mary. If it's a male, it'll probably be Joseph. But another miracle. It's like God has a sense of humor. I don't even know what all this means. Other than God is like little signs. I don't think there's a little sign. I think he hears us. I think he has a way of speaking our language, answering in ways that we never would have dreamed. We're going to continue the cow saga with little Mary.